Latest on Tropical Storm Michael, which continues through the Carolinas and just about to enter Virginia. A tropical storm with winds of 50 miles per hour and a pressure around 990 millibars. At 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time this October 11th, it was at 35.9 degrees north, 77.8 degrees west. A stage 2 on the CDPS scale with an increasing wind field in the southeast. It's slowly starting to make that post-tropical transition, and we'll start to see that wind field increase in size further on the southeastern side. 3 miles approximately from Rocky Mount, 32 from Greenville, 106 from Norfolk, and 552 from Nantucket. It will get there pretty much in the next 24 to 48 hours, sooner than you might think. Tropical storm warning remains in effect for South Santee River to Duck. Those warnings will be lifted in the next 24 hours. A storm surge watch for Ocracoke Inlet to Duck, North Carolina, and the storm surge threat will be passing in the next few hours. However, there's a lot of flooding concerns out there in the Carolinas in particular, but also elsewhere, and rainfall will continue over the next few hours. The storm will clear well away from the US by the weekend, passing by Atlantic Canada and crossing the North Atlantic, and by the end of the weekend into early next week, way off the screen, it will be arriving somewhere in Western Europe as a post-tropical, extratropical cyclone, just like any other by that point. You can see on the extended forecast there, nothing else going on in this part of the world. Sea surface temperatures aren't going to be particularly relevant, but around 26 degrees just off the coast of North Carolina, and way cooler out in the open waters. So look at that wind field again. You can see how it continues through towards the northeast, still having a wind field on the western side, but not really going to affect the northeastern part of the US very much. Tropical storm force conditions are not particularly likely for many of those locations. We'll get some percentages shortly. Thankfully, most of those winds will be on the southeastern side, which will continue to grow as stated earlier. And you can see quite a few more extratropical cyclones following in its wake. Here are the chances of tropical storm force winds then. Norfolk 75%, but up at Atlantic City only 11% there. Nantucket at 32%, so there is a considerable threat there. 9% only in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and 18% in St. John's, Newfoundland. Well, for what it's worth, another look at those model runs. You can see there the HMON model calling for the storm to reach hurricane strength once again, but that will be as a post-tropical cyclone. A lot of the other models there having some amount of strengthening. Wind shear is going to be on a rapid rise over the next few days, and wind shear will become its friend as it turns post-tropical, but it has to make that transition first. You can see there the extended track across the whole of the Atlantic and arriving somewhere towards France by next week. Well, this is how it's been looking in those recent frames. The bulk of the storm's rainfall would appear to be over Virginia now at this point, and possibly in adjacent states there. Still some significant convection in the northwestern side of the storm. Southeastern, not too much going on there by the looks of things on the satellite imagery. I wanted to present to you radar, but I couldn't for this update, but the radar still showing copious amounts of rainfall on all sides of the storm at this point. Dry air rushing in behind. We're now just a few hours away until Michael becomes a thing of the past, but its memory will live on for a very long time. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com with the latest. You can also find our YouTube page. You're probably there already, but if not, subscribe if you haven't so far. You can also find our Facebook page, Force 13 all in text, and it's at Force 13 on Twitter if you'd like to get in touch with us on there. You can also help the project become even better by enjoying the benefits of patronage. You can find out more information about how to become a patron and what those benefits are at patreon.com/Force13. You can also add Force 13 on Skype and Fool 13 at extension 9094 on Discord for tropical weather chat.